This pains me to say it, but I think I've come to the decision that I won't be buying as much Select as I have in previous years, and in this video I'm going to be explaining why. What's going on, guys? Matt here, back again with another video. Before we start, smash the like button and hit subscribe if you're enjoying the sports card content, and comment down below what your thoughts on Select this year are. For those of you guys that don't know, Panini announced earlier this year that they'd be including a release for retail with Select. Initially I was really happy with the news as it would expose Select for the low-end collectors, but it's come at a price. Since its initial release in 2013, Select has been a hobby-only product. When I say hobby-only, it means that you can't find these boxes at retail stores like Walmart or a Target, and typically the configuration of the box also has more autographs and more hits, justifying a higher price. Hobby only also only means only at your local hobby shop or your local card shop, but in saying so, retail products are still great because it allows low-end collectors to still collect with a lighter budget. Although you reduce your chances of pulling a great card through retail packs, it's a great level entry product for the younger kids and for people with a low budget. You guys would have heard the big three sets in basketball and football are Prism, Optic, and Select. Prism and Optic have been included in retail previously, but Select has been known as hobby only, and it suited the high-end collector as the print run was way less. I'm not sure if many of you guys know this, but you can actually look at the design and format of basketball cards just by shifting over to NFL cards. NFL cards are generally released a few months before the NBA, and although it's not the same for every single set, generally for Prism, Optic, and Select they are. So for Select with basketball this year, I'm going to go through how football has gone initially and what I've observed and learned. As we all know, Panini controls the card market, and I'm not really too sure why they've included retail in Select this year. I've hypothesized a couple of reasons. Number one, they're able to print more cards with a retail release and hence make more money. And number two, we've seen Sports Card Investor put out a video saying that he put a $500,000 bet into Select, saying it would overtake Prism in time. Maybe Panini saw this and included retail because they wanted to keep Prism as number one and water down the value of Select cards. Panini even released T-Mall and Hybrid boxes last year for Select, which also contained beautiful cards. But again, it was another Select product which allowed you to pull more base cards, which again dilutes the product. Now, I've watched numerous case breaks of 2020 NFL Select, and I constantly see people pulling top QB after top QB. This is great for the collectors and also for the initial hype because people get attracted to a product when they see there's a lot of rookies in the product. But I can sort of see this being like the set Chronicles, but not as rookie heavy. If you don't know much about Chronicles, people get super hyped upon release because you can pull a bunch of cards of the top rookies. But once people realize how easy it is to pull these cards, they realize that there's a high supply, and then that's when the prices start to fall. Don't forget the Ja Morant Luminance card from Chronicles last year went for $500 on release, and now it goes to $20. Not saying the height of Select on release will be the same, as that card has an iconic photo, but I can see a similar trajectory once people realize how overpopulated these cards are. Even scrolling through eBay after the initial release, I was really excited to see all the colored variations of NFL Select, but then looking at the listing quite more in depth and seeing that they weren't numbered and being quite confused compared to other years. To highlight the difference compared to previous years, let's look at the field level, which is the rarest level in Select. In 2019, you had 5 non-numbered colored parallels with 10 numbered parallels, and moving up to 2020, you have 15 non-numbered colored parallels with 22 numbered parallels. I'm not worried as much with the numbered parallels, as you can see how many have been printed according to the numbering, but you have triple the non-numbered colored parallels compared to previous years. With this increased exposure, I'm hoping to see people realize how short printed Select was in previous years, and who knows, maybe we'll see a price push for Select in those years. I did a video on this which I'll link down below, but field level cards in pre-2020 Select are priced 10 to 20% more than Prism cards. But in basketball, the courtside level, which is the direct comparison to the field level, runs at 400% of Prism cards. So if you do go into previous years, definitely look at the field level cards in football. All this being said, I do see basketball following the same path as football, but I do see it blowing up even more in terms of production. It's truly hard to compare the Pop Report compared to previous years because this is a new release and there's barely, if any, cards on the Pop Report with PSA closed. But even in a few months when PSA reopens, I can't see people sending in base cards as much with the recent price hike. I've taken this from another video on Select from Northeast Ohio Sports Cards, but essentially the same amount of Herbert field cards have sold in the first month of release as Kyler's field cards after 9.5 months of his year of release. Now that PSA is closed, people are selling raw rather than grading, but regardless, that's still 1/9 of the time for the same card. Looking at Herbert's field cards after a month, they're actually priced slightly less than Kyler's field cards, which if you look at their rookie seasons makes no sense as Herbert played much better. but an oversaturation Herbert's field cards is brought in below Kyler. I'd just be very wary, and if you're wanting to buy Select, I'd stick to short printed parallels like the Zebra or I'd stick to numbered parallels as it's easier to understand the print run. You don't want to get caught holding the bag, but if it's for your own personal collection or you're wanting to start a collection, I don't see an issue with base select. At the end of the day, it's still a beautiful chrome card which features an in-game photo compared to a photo from a photo shoot like Optic and Prism. I'm not as educated on holding wax, but if you're wanting to hold select boxes long term, I'd stick to the hobby version and only get the retail stuff if you can get it at cost price. But that's it for today's video, guys. Might be a bit of a controversial one, so let me know down below what you guys think. As always, I'm not the gospel on this, so do your own research and make your own decisions based off this. Hit the like button and subscribe if you're enjoying the sports card content, and I'll see you guys in future videos. Take care.